these are his words, you know, and they'll never not be his words. So you have to at once acknowledge that, but still, you can't just do a shameless Tim Allen impression. You have to find a way to add your own interpretation.
To infinity.
And...
obviously, to infinity and beyond is the most iconic line, and that's one of the most intimidating ones just because Tim did such an amazing job with it. And I really like what Pixar did in terms of understanding why that's the catchphrase, that it was with him and Alicia and that was kind of their thing together. I just thought that was such a clever spin on it. But again, you're trying to find a way to make it your own while also honoring the amazing work that Tim did. What Tim did is why we love this character.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command. Why don't they answer?
Wow, man, it was a dream come true. When I heard about the idea, I immediately was like, oh my gosh, I really would love to be a part of this. And so when I got the opportunity and I got the role, I was just thrilled. I mean, this is an iconic legacy character. You know, it's a film, Toy Story is a film that I've always known growing up. You know, I don't remember really a time without it. So to be able to be a part of that story is awesome.
Yeah, me too. I was honored to be asked, and it didn't take much to convince me, except just hearing the word Lightyear and knowing that Chris was going to do it. Yeah, and they were wonderful. Again, I went in, I knew nothing. I was reading scenes, and then halfway through, trying to figure out still what was going on, what this scene was following. But despite that, you know, it all works, and it's a great film.
Well, I was real excited. I was amazed. The most difficult thing was, you know, getting information about the script and the character. They're very secretive. I said, but you got to tell us. Anyway, that was great. It was also great that it didn't have any, you know, anxiety attached to it. It's like, you know, we'd like you to do this, and I said I'd like to do this, and then, you know, Bob's your uncle. That was that. So
I do this, and they shave a little time off my sentence.
Okay, and what about you?
Well, I thought this was going to be like a fun boot camp workout thing, but it is not.
Just talking about it now, I was there for Toy Story on the ground floor as a kid. And if this was double featured with that back then, I would have just been on the floor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the goal, was to make a movie that would put kids on the floor, as it were. That was really our goal. You know, they need to be floored by this, because that's the way I was for so many movies as a kid, and films had a tremendous impact on me, and it changed the course of my life. And I wanted to do a film like that could do the same thing for a small kid today.
Well, it's a weird thing, because actually Angus said something this morning which made me go, wow, I hadn't thought about it that way. And he's like, yeah, but we're now actually in the Toy Story universe, because we are the filmmakers who made the movie that Andy saw as a kid. And I'm like, oh, that's so weird. That means that I was living in that universe scoring movies, and he was. It's the more you think about it, the crazier it is. But it's really cool. It's really fun. So yeah, and in that, the movie that Andy was watching was one of his favorite movies. You know, we treated this as the movies that we loved when we were kids growing up. We were going to make the movie that we would have always loved to have seen, you know, right alongside of Star Wars, Back to the Future, Gremlins, whatever it is, all of those movies, this could have been just thrown in right alongside of them in somewhere in the 1980s. And we would have been perfectly happy with that, because we love it. Everything we do is sort of born out of all of the things we watched growing up and all the things we loved. And this movie is just a giant love letter to all of that.
To infinity.
Are you trying to get me to pull your finger?
Don't fall for it.
No, not like that. Sorry, it's a thing your grandma and I used to do.
Yeah.
Maurice, Izzy, and Darby are this ragtag group of junior rangers who are they come to Buzz's rescue in his hour of need, and they're all such a delight. What is the most heroic trait that you see in your character for Lightyear?
In my case, I'd say she's willing to put herself in danger to try and protect the others.
You there, grab it!
It's the violation of my parole.
My guy, Morrison, his most heroic trait is perseverance. He will try to get to find a use for his pen or for any other thing, and he'll try until there is a use.
And don't die.
Don't die. It's just something you want to do every day.
It's still an objective.
If I may.
I think Izzy's most heroic trait is that she knows how to get her team engaged and empowered. She knows how to, get everybody involved, and I think a team is always the best way to finish any goal.
The probability of survival with an inexperienced crew is 38.2%.
Seems a bit low.
We have to talk about socks.
Sure.
Because everybody is just over the moon for Peter Sohn's character.
Yeah.
How did socks come into play? And why does Andy not have one?
Well, we have an answer for this that we've recently discovered. Andy's mom, it was a very expensive toy. It was like because it was a talking toy at that time, in like 1986, 87, it maybe had like a little cassette deck in the back. Like it was a little bit out of the price range for that family. And so there were plenty of toys. And we were just talking about this Michael Giacchino, how he and I both wanted an AT-AT from Star Wars, from Empire Strikes Back. We never got it. It was the one we didn't have. So Andy doesn't have all the toys. He has some of the toys. That's the way it was when I was a kid. I had some of the figures, and then oddly, my dad and I made all the vehicles for things. That's the way that I grew up. And so that's the idea behind it. He didn't have the socks, but socks was always a sidekick for Buzz. Buzz is a side character in Toy Story. So if you're gonna make Buzz a main character, he needs a sidekick. And that sidekick can't be sarcastic, it has to be loyal, and I wanted to find something that was naturally funny from an animation perspective, and animatronic robot cat seemed like the right way to go.
It's figures like this that are kind of hard to nail, especially on a comedic level, because you could very much just have him keep saying, I just watch you 5 minutes, and that's the gag.
Yeah.
There's just such a life to him.
Yeah. Well, I think because of the voice actor, I think that it's the animation. Tim Pixon was he's a directing animator. He did a lot of the hard work, and Michael Kamat, who did who built the character. But it was Peter Sohn, who is genuinely like that kind of appealing, nice guy. Like the way they feel about socks is how everyone that knows Pete feels about Pete. And so having Peter as the voice takes it a long way. It was hard to find someone that was more warm in the right way without feeling sarcastic or cynical. And Peter has the ability to be hilarious and be totally true. And that truth, since comedy is two truths that come together to form a new truth, Pete has that in spades.
Buzz, that was utterly terrifying, and I regret having joined you.
So you did go in a little cold, not knowing many specifics about the role of Zurg.
I did not.
As you moved forward, what helped influence your performance? Because I don't think many people realize this. You're the second Brolin to play a Disney villain besides your son Josh in the Avengers films.
Yeah, it's been the talk of the town for the last 2 days here, but I don't know that anybody outside knows, but it sounds like it's going to be part of the latest news that we're going to finally have it out, I got to start going to Gold's Gym and catch up with him, because this is going to be one nasty fight. He's already killed half the universe, man. I got to catch up.
That's what sequels are for.
I mean, I hope so, for very selfish reasons. Yeah. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of places to go and a lot of great characters in this. And so, yeah, I hope we have a chance to explore them further.
This is exciting. A new adventure.
Lightyear is the film that Andy watches, and it inspires the toys.
That's right.
So your Lightyear's Buzz Lightyear, Tim Allen is obviously the toy.
Right.
Do you have any Captain America merchandise that has another voice to it? And how weird is it?
All of the Captain America merchandise has another voice. I've never done any voice for any of the toys. I don't even know if they can use my voice from the films in those toys. Funny story, actually. There was some toy that they put out that they wanted me to do the voice for, but I ended up having my brother do it. My younger brother, who sounds similar to me, is the voice of one of the main original toys of Captain America. But again, that was one of the reasons why I was able to at least wrap my head around this project when they explained what it was going to be, to understand why maybe it wouldn't be Tim Allen's voice.
Okay, you just sent us further down the rabbit hole with that, because you pulled a Tom Hanks, because his brother Jim tends to step in for him on some of the Toy Story projects.
Does he? Does he sound like Tom? I mean, that's an iconic voice. I mean, does he sound like Tom Hanks?
It's close. It's not a one-for-one, but it's close enough that it's never really been distracting.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, just the official Disney policy, I guess, or if not, it's
hire the sibling. Yeah.
Ready, Captain Lightyear?
Ready as I'll ever be, Commander Hawthorne.
So going back to Hawthorne, in the lead up to the film's release, Lightyear almost removed an LGBTQ plus moment from the film, but then it was reinstated as was announced. What did the cut look like? What did the altered version look like without that sequence?
Yeah, the montage was in there. The whole montage was in there. The only thing that changed was the 40th anniversary party instead of
they kind of held hands awkwardly.
No, she put her head on her shoulder.
No, it was just it was a grab. It was like a grab and like no, she tilted. I don't know if it was on the shoulder.
Okay, we're gonna sit here and argue about this. Anyway, you get the idea.
It was a little weird, and so it just felt a little bit like. Yeah. What is that? It just felt like something was missing.
40th anniversary. You're gonna kiss your spouse.
So it was more natural that way, and we just wanted to get that in the film.
But everything else was the same.
But Socks, how long were we gone?
Meow, 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 meow. 62 years, 7 months, and 5 days.
What?
I thought of Socks' point of view of the montage, of him just like waiting around, like killing time, trying like poking at the computer. But we haven't.
Look at that face.
I know. I'd love to. But we just finished this one. Come on, we just look at what we gave you on Tuesday. Come on. Yeah.
I demand a lot. Okay,
I know.
You said
That's
and beyond, and that means beyond.
Yeah. Well, we'll take that under advisement. I'm glad to hear that would be that something extra would be exciting to you.
He's purring. He likes it.
Socks, do you like that?
I do.
Huh.